What's up YouTube? It's my favorite kind of video, and that is review time. The only problem with doing a review on a light is that when the light's turned off, it is incredibly dark. The only light I've actually got right now is that abysmal looking wall light over there, which is why it looks so terrible. But as you can see from the thumbnail, the review we are doing the review that we are doing today is on none other than this one right here, the Dewalt XR light. I don't really know what it's called. It's only ever really referred to as a globe light, but I have no idea what it's actually called. What do we think of the light? Would we recommend it? Do you think it is worth spending your hard-earned money? Well, what I am first going to do is actually turn the light on. I'm going to put it behind the camera so you can actually see me just for a moment. So, excuse me, I do apologise, I've got a bit of a cold. What do we think of the light? Well, unfortunately, as plasterers, what I can tell you is that we spend an exuberant amount of money on lights. And for the most part, up till this point, they have always been leaded. This is our first proper cordless light. It is truly incredible. There are several features that are worth noting. What I will do is I will show you them right now. So currently, as you can see, it is very bright. There are 3 settings on this light. I'm going to push it away so hopefully it doesn't blow the camera out too badly. You can see on the front here there is a middle button. What I'll actually do is I'll actually put a screenshot of the light here so that you can see what I'm referring to. There is a middle button which turns it on and turns it off, and then there is one on the right of the light which cycles through 3 light settings. Gonna be totally honest with you, as plasterers we want it as bright as possible, so we generally only ever keep it on the highest setting, which I believe is 5,000 lumens. That is pretty bright. Our leaded ones are around about that amount. There is also, you'll see on there is one more here. This is for their Dewalt Tool Connect or something like that, which is basically an app which connects to the battery so you can control the battery from your phone. It tells you how much percentage it's got, etc. so forth. There is a very good reason why we don't use the app. Let me show you that reason right now. Ta-da! If you have a look on the App Store, it has a completely rubbish review. I've got a thing where I don't download apps unless they're at least 3.5 to 4 stars and above. For whatever reason, Dewalt, I don't know what you've done wrong there, but that app apparently is terrible. As such, we have never downloaded it. It's not brilliant by what it would appear. It would appear certainly from the reviews. So I can't really tell you much about that app, as I said, because we don't use it, because the reviews on it are terrible. What I can tell you though is the light itself is fantastic. There is also a very nice feature on the back. It's got on the bottom, sorry, it's got a Skyhook on here, which is so handy. You can see, possibly just in shot there is a couple of cables hanging down, and certainly when we're on site we usually just loop this Skyhook over the top of a cable, and it basically hangs as a pendant in the middle of the room, and it literally lights up the entire room. It's fantastic. But you'll also notice, if I turn it off for a second, that it has 2 threads. One, I believe, I'm probably going to get this wrong, to be totally honest with you, I've forgotten. It's online. It's something like 5/8 and maybe 1/4 of an inch thread. The idea is that it's supposed to be able to fit on a tripod. So you can, it doesn't come with those threads, but they are readily available on places like eBay, Amazon, etc. so forth. They're pretty cheap, maybe a £5. And then if you have a camera tripod, it will connect straight into this so you can hang it up. We don't generally do that because the light's being moved around a lot, it's being kicked around a lot. We don't generally bother using it. The other thing to note is on the back of the light, that is where the battery door is. It's pretty nice because it keeps it nice and clean. It runs the flex fold batteries and it runs standard ones. Now, what I will say with regards to this light, which I hadn't actually noticed slash paid attention to, was that it is not a flex volt tool. And to be fair, it doesn't say flex volt anywhere on this tool. It describes it. I'm going to turn the light on because it's a bit dark. Let me just adjust the lighting a bit. There we go. Amazing difference that light makes. It doesn't actually say that it's a flex volt. Why does that matter? Well, actually, when we bought this, so we bought the tool bare. I haven't actually seen it where it's sold with batteries in the United Kingdom. It is around £200. And then we actually bought a 12 amp hour flex volt battery as well. Naively, I was thinking that it was a flex volt tool and it might last all day. It's not. So you're getting 12 amp hours of battery, not 54 volts, unfortunately. That said, so our Dewalt mixer, it runs on 9 amp hour batteries. We've bought a brand new 12 amp hour battery, which was about £200. So we spent £400 buying an extra battery, so we have 3 flex volts. You definitely need 2 batteries, especially if you're running it on full chat. So the highest lumen count, as I said, I think is about 5,000. For plastering, I don't know why you'd want to run it on anything less, to be perfectly honest with you. In our opinion, you want the most amount of light. That said, I didn't particularly notice an awful lot of difference between a brand spanking new 12 volt battery and the 9 amp hour battery. And to be fair, even the 5 amp hour batteries last around about an hour to 2 hours. So if you've got loads of 5 amp hour batteries that you're cycling through, you probably could get it to last all day, but certainly 2 9 amp hours or whatever will last all day. Otherwise, at full power, it's probably around 4 to 5 hours and it will drain the battery. What actually happens is it starts flashing, and it probably flashes 2 or 3 flashes every 3 or 4 minutes. Probably does that for about 20 to 30 minutes and then it will turn itself off. The flashing is annoying, so you'll probably end up changing that very quickly. But as far as the light goes, the amount of light that it disperses into the room is incredible. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take you off the tripod just for a second. So you can see here, if I move the tripod out of the way, you can see here that it is lighting up this room. If I get Louis to turn the light off, so my cunning assistant will come in, and if he shuts the light off on the battery, you can see how much dark it is. So if Louis turns it back on for a moment, what I'll actually do is I'll actually turn the customer's light off. So the customer's light is off. You can see it's lighting up this area here, and it's just sitting on the hop up. And if Louis shuts the the light off, it makes a massive difference. The lighting that it actually throws across the room is superb. Now, as we have already said, for us, generally, wherever possible, we actually try and hang it from the ceiling. It gets a much more even light. It emulates a light bulb much better. But to be perfectly honest with you, for us, would we recommend this? Yes or no? Absolutely, without a doubt. With all the hundreds and hundreds of pounds we've spent on lights over the years, this is without a doubt the best one. And to be honest with you, we're actually looking at buying a second one. We'll probably get another couple of batteries, and we will probably buy, we were looking to buy another one to have too. They really are that good. Not only that, they're very robust, very compact. It's one of the downsides about a leaded light is the fact it starts breaking. You can see just there the light has started flashing. That is to say the battery needs to be changed. That wasn't planned at all. What I will say is that it is 3:49 and that has been running since about 11 o'clock. What is really brilliant is just how compact it is. One of the downsides, as I've already mentioned, with a leaded one, they do tend to get damaged in the van, in transport, etc. They don't tend to last that long. There are no cables here. That is something to bear in mind though. It is battery only. There is not an option to plug it in. But we truly have been so impressed with just how useful the light is specifically for plastering, with how even it throws that light. As we always say in pretty much all of our videos that we review, in no way are we affiliated with Dewalt. It would be lovely if we were, because maybe they'd throw us another light, but unfortunately I'm going to have to cough up the money. But if you are even remotely on the fence as to whether or not to shell out the money, obviously £200 for a light is a lot, and if you don't have the batteries you'll be spending that as well. It is a superb light, certainly for plasterers or decorators. Even we've used it for things like camping and what have you. It is so handy as have if you're working outside in the dark. It is such an efficient and handy light to have. So we thoroughly recommend it. Certainly if you're on the fence, it certainly gives us the thumbs up from Dewalt. We think we've nailed it on this one. It's a robust light that is so effective. We thank you so much for watching the video. We hope you found it helpful, maybe in deciding whether you should spend your hard-earned money buying this light. Consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you've enjoyed the content, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks again.